I'm a photographer and filmmaker in Perth, Western Australia. I mainly shoot weddings, food and underwater for work, but one of my real passions is capturing nature. What started as a daddy-daughter breakfast date at our local turned into a full nature discovery session, watching an osprey hunting for his breakfast. It's not every day I carry my full camera gear, but on this occasion, I really wanted to run some tests on my new Canon R5 and the 100-400 to see how the 8K and 4K 100 frames per second fared handheld. Finding the Osprey was an absolute bonus, so I went to work, filming and studying his behaviour, watching his mannerisms. I noted his cue to dive were to lower his feet down, so I poised, ready to tilt and hopefully film his attack. Fortunately this time it was just weed. He circled again for a few minutes before lowering his feet again and commencing his dive. Absolutely beautiful. This time I was sure he'd nailed a fish, but the situation was about to get worse. I could see through my viewfinder that it was entangled, and instantly I thought it'd been caught up in fishing line or a hook. But it was just seaweed caught on his large wing. Ospreys are the only raptor that can dive into the water to catch prey, and their wings can span up to 1.8 metres. Using their powerful thrust, they are able to take off wet post-dive. But this time he could not free himself and just kept landing in the water. After taking several waves on the head, he looked absolutely exhausted and flattened his wings to stay afloat. At this stage, several things were running through my head. Is this going to be a bad ending? Should I intervene? And is this normal behaviour? It's not something I'd seen before. We watched a little longer, and this wave I thought would finish him. Instead, it gave him the motivation to swim fly back into the shore. Whether the predator considered this a life-threatening situation or not, it was amazing to see an animal fight for survival and not give up. Eventually, he made it back to the sand and to safety. Looking exhausted and with a drooped wing, I was unsure again whether to intervene. Even my daughter was yelling, "Save him, Daddy!" The raptor is seen desperately trying to free the weed, only to be hit by more waves. Until eventually the final small wave helps shift the weed, and away he flies. Amazing to see that he still had enough energy in the bank to fly away and recover on the shore. All this within metres of the Perth shoreline. How lucky are we to witness this amazing feat of survival, and an amazing lesson for my daughter and I about survival and to not intervene with nature. Thanks, Jasmine.